Elektrárne Piešťany vás vítam na dnešnom tak trošku netradičnom podujatí. Spravili sme pre vás taký hybrid nášho komunitného podujatia Made in Piešťany a spojili sme ho s hudobným vystúpením zo skupenia The Grand Buffet pod vedením Petra Lipu mladšieho. A v prvej hodinke dnešného večera si vypočujete 5 veľmi zaujímavých prezentácií od ľudí, ktorí pochádzajú z rôznych kútov sveta a naše mesto Piešťany sa im stalo druhým domovom. Vypočujete si, prečo práve Piešťany a ako sa im u nás žije. A potom si spravíme kratučku prestávku a potom sa budete môcť tešiť na vystúpenie Grand Buffet. Dnes večer prezentácie odznejú možno takej troška kombinácii slovenského jazyka, anglického jazyka, možno si vypočujeme nejaké iné jazyky. Pre tých z vás, ktorí by ste mali problém porozumieť, všetky prezentácie natáčame a v najbližších dňoch bude teda celé video aj s titulkami na webe Elektrárne Piešťany. Takže ja vám prajem príjemný večer, dobre sa u nás zabavte a vítam už prvého prezentujúceho, ktorým je Noel.
Ďakujem, Kaka. I think this mic is a bit loud, is it? Is it too loud? All right, okay. So my name is Noel McCarthy. I'm from the Green Old Isle. Have anybody been to Ireland? Have you been? Which part? Which part? Dublin. So I come from the very south, Cork, like right on the coast. Super looking place. But anyway, my Slovak is a little mala, but dobre večer. How are you doing? Diagwit. Like in Ireland, we have our own language, diagwit. Because the thought to, like, it means, hello, how are you? So basically, I'm going to be pressing the switch and the pictures are supposed to come up, are they? Aha. So, the ugly guy in the middle is me, as you can see. So there are photos. My eldest son lives in Austin, Texas. So I was there for 8 months holidays. So Austin, Texas, like is very vibrant street at night. It's full of people. So there are some girls I met on the street. Yep. So this photo, it was taken, I think, 3 years. I'm living here in Piešťany 6.5 years. Sometimes I go back to Ireland, very little, but I was back 3 years ago. And this is my youngest son here, and that's my middle son. My younger son is like a hip-hopper, rapper, music producer. He does workshops for the schools. The other guy has his own band. He's a lead guitarist, like very professional band in Ireland. Aha. Does anybody know where this is from? You must. It's not too far away. It's Piešťan in Croatia. Piešťan. Have you been there? Piešťan. Yep. This is another scene from in Croatia, because when I came here 6 years ago, I went to Croatia for a holiday for 2 weeks, and I stayed there for 3 months. Like, so it was super holiday. So there's some photos from Croatia. This one is my friend Gusto Niepel. He plays banjo in my guitar. That's a photo taken outside, you know, the theater in Medellín. So you need to read this. It's a very interesting quote. Your value doesn't decrease because of someone's inability to see your worth. Like, it's very true. If people like kind of are putting you down and like not giving you good vibes, like, you understand what I mean? Aha. Actually, this photo is the very first concert I ever played here in Piešťany. And it's about 2.5 years ago. And it's in that small theater in Medellín. You know it. Small theater. It was like a charity for, I think, some girl guides or something. So the very first photo, Veronica, Peter, I don't know who the guy is in the middle, Gusto and me. That's just saying, Céad Míle Fáilte, it's an Irish saying, 1,000 million welcomes. We have a national sport in Ireland. It's played with a stick from the ash tree. It's called hurling. It's the fastest game field game in the whole world. Yeah, this is actually from the west of Ireland, and that's how the west of Ireland still looks today in parts of it. And you have the wild Atlantic Ocean. That's my eldest son. He lives in Austin, Texas. He's here in Piešťany, as you can see, maybe 2 years ago with his wife. You see the amount of the pivot they drink in Ireland. That's for, there's a special weekend. It's called the Jazz Weekend on the 25th of October, and that's the amount of beer is consumed over a weekend, 3 days. Yeah, he's one of my famous guitarists, Jimi Hendrix. Yeah, that's a photo from Medellín again. Another photo, typical photo from the west of Ireland. Meanwhile, Belfast. We had a lot of trouble in Ireland over 800 years of British rule, but I'm not going to go into it now. But like, there was a big resistance between the 60s and up to like for a 30-year war. Actually, I'm a sailor as well. I have a boat in Ireland, and this is Cove. Have anybody ever heard of Cove? Cove, County Cork. It was the last port of call for the Titanic before it sunk. You can read it. This is my bicycle. One of my biggest passions, and the reason I love Piešťany, is cycling. You can cycle through the nature here, nothing is private. You can cycle hundreds of kilometers through the tracks. I cycled to Poda 3 years ago to the rock concert by bike along Hornstrade, the river. This is one of my first photos. That's down in the ski lake in Ratnov, about 6 years ago, I think. That's another photo from the GUL playing in the park. That's my younger son. That's our very first practice room in Eden. It's called the French room. We used to practice here the first time, and there was a guy sleeping overhead. He worked in Tesco. He was getting up at 5 a.m., so he was complaining. So we moved to a different room within the hotel. Our typical Irish breakfast. This scene is from the famine in Ireland. We had a major famine. It was caused by potato blight, but all the other crops were perfect, but the English took them to feed their armies, and they knocked people's houses down because they weren't able to pay their rent. This is a scene from West Cork, where I live. That's my son's band, my son on the right, J90, very popular band in Ireland. That's just a photo of my band again, in the Curse Salon. That's a scene from celebrating St. Patrick's Day, and those 3 guys are my 3 grandsons. Like, one boy has 3 sons, so like, that's how I kind of stock up with beer, because like, when we were practicing in Eden, the band, like, it was always a kind of a drinking session as well. Everybody was drinking. Is it gone kaput? Help me, Alan. I'm pressing. No problem anyway. But like, does anybody want to ask me any questions or anything like that? No? Are you too shy? Aha. Like, by default, actually, when I arrived in Slovakia in May 2012, my friend, which is a Slovak guy, he worked and lived in Ireland for 4 years. He came back home, and I decided to move to Slovakia. I was living in Lohovec for the first 3 days, and he said, "No, I'm going to take you to Piešťany." His parents had an apartment near Prior, you know, Starry Little. So I was there for the first 3 or 4 months. Then I went to Croatia for 3 months. When I came back, the apartment was sold. So we just Googled, and I found a room in Hotel Eden. But originally, like, I was taken to love us. Praise the Lord. They didn't leave me there. No, I think Piešťany is like super place, except it's a little bit dead at night. Like, it is lacking entertainment. Understand? So the next question, and also my first connection with Slovakia was a girl, obviously, from Spiskanova Ves. She lived and worked in Ireland. I kind of fell in love with her. She fell out of love with me. The usual story. Any other question? How many minutes do I have left? Anyway, but basically, I came to Piešťany 6 years ago. I didn't know one person, not one person, no one. Oh, my friend from Lahovitz. And over the years, like, making different friends, I actually managed, I'm proud to form a band here with 5 Slovak guys, and even Adam, I know all the people in music. It's super. Like, so it's super feeling for me, like, and thank you for having me here and inviting me here tonight. Have you a question? Yeah, they're all from Piešťany, yeah. No, they're from me, I think. Actually, originally, the girl on violin, she worked at the G-Well. So that was the first connection with music, that blonde girl. So I'd be drinking in G-Well. This is maybe 3 years ago. So one night, somebody asked me to bring a guitar, and she started playing violin, and then there was another guy on banjo, and then, like, it just happens. So, like, it just evolved. Niggity. Like, if I did, I rarely go home. Okay, I was home in July for a month, but before that, it was 2.5 years, and again, it was 2.5 years. One reason, like the cycling, the freedom through the nature, but you get 6 months of summer. I never, in all my life, growing up in Ireland, experienced 6 months of summer. You might get 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, and then it's gone, wind and rain. I came here, non-stop shining like the sun, like, and vitamin D to your brain, like, it's making you happy all the time, so.
That's the reason why people are leaving Ireland, right? Your sons are also all over the country?
No, only one guy, but he left in the 80s, like, jobs were difficult to find in Ireland. He got a job with actually he got his first job with an American company, the Oracle, they like their software, but he was working for them in Dublin. So he had an option of getting a transfer to California, so he moved to California and then he moved to Texas. So, no, people are, the reason for me leaving Ireland is the weather, like, because, like, everybody in Ireland goes abroad for the holidays. They're going to Greece, Spain, fucking wherever. Like, but here, like, you can drive down the road to Croatia, Slovenia. It's beautiful. I whitewater rafted in Slovenia about 3.5 years ago. Super country, super nature here. So one more question.
What do you think about the rest of Slovakia?
The rest of Slovakia? No, I've been to the small Tatras, Mala Tatras. I've been, do anybody know where Horne Marakova is, northwest of Slovakia? I've been there, going back 3, 4 years, 5 years, every year. I stayed in a cottage on the hills, like on Sylvester. Went there in the summertime, the cottage, trekked for 4 hours over the hills into the Czech Republic, trekked back. Like, I was always very active, because originally I worked as a postman in Ireland, cycling every day in the fucking wind, the rain, getting up at 4:45 a.m. But I was also doing maintenance, you know, like the post boxes, construction, repairing bicycles, like a jack of all trades. So yeah, I have been to different parts of Piešťany, or Slovakia, Bratislava, Martin, wherever, Topolčany, Leopoldo, Banka, Moravani. Okay, so I think my time is up, is it, Alan? So I thank you very much for coming here and putting up with me and listening to me. Thank you. Ďakujem.